Hi guys, what I'm going to do today is I am going to fit a boost controller to my 300 CDI. I've actually had it tweaked on the turbo by the wastegate rod, however with that constantly holding the spring under pressure is probably risking a little bit of damage or wear and tear where it's not necessarily, so I've actually converted that back to standard and I'm fitting now a boost controller. Now just to explain to you quickly how you can do it without the boost controller and onto the wastegate rod itself is, if I can show you quickly, very quickly because it's not very visible, but down there is your wastegate and there's a rod that runs from the wastegate through to the valve down there on a manifold. Right, that's actually a threaded bar and it's got a 10mm nut on it. What you do is you undo the 10mm nut, then what you do is take a clip off from underneath there. In fact, give me a second, I've got an idea. I'll show you a better way. So, what I'm going to do is get some bits and pieces, and maybe my descriptions will match what I'm telling you. Right. You can see down there, hopefully, that there is the end of the rod matching up to or mounted onto the valve. Now it's held on by a little spring, like a spring clip. Undo the clip and basically that will release. You undo the 10mm nut, which is, you can see it down there, so you can see it from there. There's a 10mm nut which you undo, if I can see it actually. There, 10mm nut which you undo, then you take the clip off, then remove the rod, you wind the rod in to shorten it, then you basically replace it onto that mounting valve there, put a new clip on, tighten up the nut, and Bob's your uncle. Now to get about 1 to 1.2 bar, which is probably maximum you're only running at, what you want to do is leave somewhere around four threads, I should think, 3 to 4 threads on the end. That's sort of keeping into the realms of safety. If you want to do it that way, the way I've done it is I've reversed that process and I've got a kit which I'm going to show you now for a valve controller. So what you do is, what comes in the kit is this. You've got the valve controller here. Now it doesn't come with a bracket, that's just a bracket I've knocked up. Mounted it onto there, that's your controller there, so it's manual, so you can wind it as low as you want or as high as you want, within reason obviously. You get a long lengthy piece of pipe, probably a metre or more, which is plenty, as that is there, and then you get a T-piece. That's me kicking my pile of crap. And foil on there. Right, and then you get a T-piece like that, and that goes down where the wastegate feed is there, like so. Now that's a standard pipe. Yours might be a little bit different to this because that's a replacement pipe, which is a lot harder. And what you do is basically slice it in the middle. You might have to cut a piece out of it because of the length of that. Might just be a bit too long if you just had it in the middle. And as shown, arrow, this has confused a lot of people, arrow points towards wastegate, so it will sit basically like that in the vehicle. And on the bottom of here there's also an arrow which I should be able to show you there, which says that one is for the wastegate, so the feed off will be there. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to connect this to my pipework. So we're ready to go. Now in the kit also you get 2 clips like that, 2 clamps, Jubilee clamps, which I want to call them. Now I'm going to add them onto there. Tighten them up a little bit, make sure we're all in position. Now I have been using the other way on the wastegate rod shorter for probably about a month or so on this vehicle. Anyway, I've done it before, and it's run perfectly fine, absolutely no issues at all with it, and it's been boosting about 1 to 1.2 bar, and for me that's enough really. I don't want to, I'd rather any modification I do, I like to keep them in the realms of safe and not take any risks just for that extra bit of performance. I'd rather have the car that lasts me a while than goes quick for a month and blows up. I don't see a point in that. Right, that is ready to go. I've replaced these the clips here with little spring loaded ones. Seems to be a lot easier to manually activate. So now what we're going to do is quite simply refit this in between with the arrow pointing towards the actuator itself. Hoping I'm not too long. If I am, I'll just have to take a little bit off. It should be no problem. From there to there. Keep in mind it would be nice if it does hang low, so it does hang low, it'll be out of the way of anything. There she blows, there she blows, I tell ya. Spot on. That's that fitted. What I need to do now is simply tighten up the clips, or move the spring-loaded clips to the ends so they connect. And move on to the next piece. This will take a second or two. Right, there we are. That's up and running, nice and clean. Right, next thing, feed. I've got it all basically just run through here already, and what I've done is I've dug out, whether they'll be any good, a couple of little clips, spring loaded again, just to give them a bit of an assistance. I think the chances of you needing them are probably going to slim because they're not in the kit generally, so they must think it's going to be alright. Plug that in, push it on all the way to the end. That's in the end, that's it. Clip. Make sure this is all fed where we want it to be fed to and from, through or whatever. Don't want anything blocking it. This way to keep that. Right, so that's in position. So all that's left to do now is trim it to size with a little bit of spare room. Just there, so that's snipped off. You can see, all in place. Connected up, clean and run through. To got myself another little clip. These are for motorbikes, so whether you can find these in another part of the automotive industry is beyond me, but so that goes nice and onto there. Clip it on by hand, I think. Clip it on by hand, put it down out of the way safe, and that's it basically, that's all it is. Then you adjust it manually for your runoff. And what it basically does, if my understanding is correct, is rather than all the pressure go directly to the wastegate, what it does, it comes up here as a runoff. So what you can do is release it, so it releases more pressure there. So the more pressure there, the longer that the wastegate holds onto the pressure at the other end. Therefore, pushing up your boost or your PSI, whichever rating you've got it on. And that, obviously, just to smarten it off, what I'm going to do is put that on there, just loosely, because it's with it being a runoff, it shouldn't be under a massive amount of pressure. Just put a piece of this under there, and just maybe just drop it down to one side, or pull it back round and drop it down there, one of the two, just to smarten it up really. And so that's it really, that's all you need to do. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope it gave you some information. And some sort of starting point for whatever you want to do with yours. I've seen them fitted before on turbo diesels, and like I say, if you can manually adjust something outside and the mechanical side of it, you know, you're setting yourself up for a bit of a easier ride really. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video. Cheers.